Hello, good afternoon. I'll talk about Scrabble and my journey in Scrabble so far. I am Dr. Sridhar Paidikondala. I am a professional Scrabbler. How many of you have heard about the board game Scrabble? Okay, and did you see these words? CH, EW, all these things, two-letter words. So they are obscure if you don't know them. And how many seven-letter words can you make by using these seven tiles? A, E, I, N, or S, T. Make a wild guess. There are 11 words, starting with NS3 to steering. We'll have a brief introduction, and I am focusing on Cialdini's principle of commitment and consistency, and I will run through some of my high games and advantages of playing Scrabble, and if someone wants to take up the game, what are the tools required, and I'll briefly touch upon that. Alfred Birds of United States developed this game during the Great Depression, and you can see that it is more than 100 years old, and it is a popular game in all the American households and in many parts of the world. These are the basic tools. It has a 15 by 15 grid Scrabble board with 100 tiles, two racks, and the distribution is arrived at by Alfred Burts by studying the New York Times and now what we call data analytics. He came to know like how many alphabets are used, like vowels and consonants, and arrived at this tile distribution. There are also two blanks. Each player will have 25 minutes to play the game, and there is a score sheet also. You can track the tiles and it will be useful for you in the end game. This is a typical tournament scene, and I would like not to spend much time on that. See how Cialdini's principle of commitment and consistency comes into picture. Once I chose this as my second profession, I started building my vocabulary and played tournaments like every 2 months, because my first profession is like I'm a consulting chemical engineer, and I used to observe top players online, how they play, what sort of choices they make, and I also bought Scrabble books to know more about the game, and I practiced pre-end game and end game situations, and I always played in premier category so that I will expose to top players and learn from them, though I was losing in the beginning. Let us see how this principle helped me in gaining more fame and more dollars also. This was with a former world champion, and you can see the kind of place they make these top expert players. I started with hype, and he immediately came by lay about, which I challenged, and it was found to be correct. And the total score was 999 points. I did a reasonably good job by scoring 459 points. So my high game so far in tournament play has been 604. So my opponent played Tycoons and Manatees. He got both the blanks. I made Earding, Defiance, and Vettable. These games don't happen very often. And my second game is, highest game is 596. And in this game, both the players made 9-timer games. 9-timer is when the word touches both the triple letter words, that is two red squares. This was where it happened in Delhi. And this is a typical online game. So I made 5 bingos with 7 letters or more. Spinaches, Uralitic, Unwished, Modeming, Arouser. My opponent made Plinish and Fractions. So these were the bingos made by me at California Open. I averaged 2 bingos per game. There are around 40 bingos in 20 games. And the expert players average between 2 and 2.5 bingos per game. You can see that most of them, other than sourers or steamed, they are all obscure words. You don't get simple words like retains or retinas. And also I made like coverlet, monodist when my back was to the wall. So I was in a losing position, but still I did well. So I also got a lucky loser prize at California Open Scrabble tournament as I lost a game narrowly by 4 points. This was a podium finish at Hyderabad. And this is my biggest trophy so far. And I won the Hyderabad Open in 2019. This is with world champion Nigel Richards. And this is with national champion Joe Adley. I met him at the California Open in San Francisco. See, there are several advantages of playing Scrabble. One being you can improve your vocabulary and arithmetic skills. As you are thinking most of the time in the game, your immunity is boosted. It not only teaches you strategy but enhances concentration. It reduces Alzheimer's. A lot of socializing happens, and you can also visit places when you go to different cities to play the tournament. These are the improvement tools. Ziziva is a tool to improve your vocabulary. You can do a lot of puzzles. Anagram Quizzer is the Android version of that. And cross tables and aerolith can be used to improve your bingo skills. Crackle is a computer bot. You can play with the computer bot. Both ISC and Google's are online Scrabble platforms where you can play with players throughout the world. This is what I wanted to say. My commitment as a second profession and my consistent efforts helped me in achieving some of my satisfactions, and I also earned around $1,000 in a span of 7 years. And I thank you for your time and attention. Thank you.